Welcome to part 2 of our 2015 predator hunting scope picks. Right now I'd like to talk to you about the scope that I personally feel is the very best scope for predator hunting, particularly at night, anywhere. This is a scope that is not a bargain scope. It's not a super high priced Schmidt and Bender type scope, but it's in the middle. It's a $1,300 scope from Leupold. Let's talk about it. I'm hunting with this on my rifles this year. This is a new one I just bought for myself to put on my 243. You see behind me I have one on my CZ 527 American in 223, along with some ammunition that I'll be using this year to do some ballistic testing of copper bullets. But anyway, let's get right to the scope. Okay, so this is the Leupold VX6. It's in a 3 to 18 by 50 millimeter configuration. It has a side focus. Comes with a custom dial system, which you can order for free. I'll explain that in a minute. And it's in a matte finish. There are two illuminated reticles that I absolutely love. In fact, I bought one in each to hunt with this year. Leupold has a terrific illumination system. They have a wonderful little red dot. They call it their fire dot. So this scope I'm selling in both the fire dot duplex, and I'm also selling it in the fire dot 4 duplex. The only difference is the fire dot duplex is just like your regular Leupold duplex with a little tiny red dot in the middle that'll light up for you. Fire dot 4, it's kind of like the old German 4 reticles, and it has a thicker line across the horizon and the vertical bottom post. So the top of the reticle is less cluttered. The bottom is a little bit darker to pick up moving animals quicker in the scope. So it comes in either configuration, but some more reasons why this is a great scope. This has a 1:6 zoom ratio, so I have these from 2 to 12, 3 to 18, 4 to 24, but I really feel that 3 to 18 is just perfect for predator hunting. The biggest reason is because of 3 power. At 3 power, this scope will give you a really significant 38 feet field of view. So if you have something that comes in really close or something that's moving really fast, you don't want a 6 power. You want to be able to dial down to a 4 at max. In my case, I prefer a 3 power. So this having the 3 to 18 gives you the option of having a really wide field of view at 3 power. It's also, like all Leupold scopes, it's got a terrific eye relief. They advertise it at 3.7 inches. It's a super bright optic. I've owned Leupolds for a long time. I feel their VX6 is by far the best product that I've ever personally used that they've come out with. It's just a really bright, clear optic. Another thing about it is built into their illumination system. When you turn on the dot, it's not always on. If you want to hunt during the day, it's off. If you want to hunt at night, you can turn it on. Every time you tap it, you get a different brightness setting. Excuse me. But they have what they call their motion sensor technology. So if you don't move the scope for 5 minutes, it shuts off. I've left many scopes on coming home 2, 3 in the morning from hunting, forgetting I had the illuminate reticle on different brands, and there it was on until the next time I used it. So that's a nice feature also to conserve your battery power and have a situation where you're not out in the field and you turn on your illuminated reticle and it doesn't go on. A couple more things that are kind of special. They get a little technical, but Leupold does this scope with like a blackened edge. You won't see it in the lens per se, but it's something they do to help reduce glare, which can be very important to the night hunter, I feel. They have their extended twilight system lens on here. And that's kind of interesting because most scopes are typically rated at, well, 550 nanometers. A nanometer is basically a color on the color spectrum. It's like a green, but that's what most scopes, their brightness rating is rated at, because humans tend to see their best at that setting. But Leupold's system, with their extended twilight system, they realized that the blue and the violet type colors are the colors right before it just goes black and right first thing in the morning that you see. You don't see the bright greens from a color spectrum standpoint. So anyway, Leupold's designed that into their scope so it has really good low light clarity and low light brightness. It's not just a scope that's going to be really good on a bright sunny day. That's rather easy to do. But to actually put the chemicals into the lenses that also pick up color pigments for like blue and violet for the early morning hours or for the last hour of light really helps make a scope up a notch for the late hunter or the night hunter, I feel. It has a diamond coat to abrasion resistance. It meets military spec standards. Although if you're like me, you do everything you can to keep your lenses protected and never have anything scratch them. But it's nice to know that you have it. It's 6061 aircraft aluminum, and it's waterproof, fog-proof, but Leupold also says shock-proof. I've never had a Leupold scope fail me. I feel very confident whenever I hunt with one. I'm sure someday it'll happen. Every company has a bad product once in a while, but I'm really confident with these scopes. I'm not as kind to them as I should be, throwing them in and out of the truck at night, but they've really done well for me. So I've got a lot of confidence in this American-made Leupold scope. And of course, the other thing is, you know, they have the Leupold Golden Ring warranty. It's their full lifetime guarantee on the optic, and then they have a separate electronics warranty. You can look at that on their website if you want to. But let me take this out of the box and show it to you. I haven't opened it yet. Alright, here she is. Got some lens caps with the scope. You got a scope cover. And here's what we're after. Your battery. But there she is. There's the scope. It's a fast focus eyepiece. If you'd like to, you can send a card into Leupold, and they will, if you give them your ballistic information for your bullet, they'll make you a custom elevation turret for the top. They call that their CDS, or their custom dial system. I shoot so many different types of bullets, I don't get one for myself, but you have your standard elevation adjustment, and if you give them your ballistic profile of your bullet, they'll make you a custom dial that matches your bullet. Of course, the windage dial is just standard. And that's how you turn it on and off. Every time you push it, it goes through your brightness settings. And then on the side here, if you turn the knob, it has your parallax adjustment, so it'll clear it up for you. This one has 75 to 600 yards, but I never go by the numbers. It's how it looks in your eye. It's got the fast focus eyepiece on the end of it. And then there's the power ring. Starts at 3 and it goes up to 18. So this scope here will be mounted shortly on my 243 for doing some coyote hunting this year. And like I said, right behind me is the same scope with just a standard duplex with the fire dot. This is the German 4 with the fire dot. But as far as the predator hunting scope goes, I absolutely think this is a fantastic scope. And I have it for sale and stock on my website. So if you'd consider this scope, I'd appreciate it if you'd support a fellow predator hunter and buy it from me. But if you didn't want to get this scope, I hope I pointed out a few features that you can look for in other scopes that are effective for predator hunting at night. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a safe and successful predator hunting season. Thank you.